Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the African protest movement in America. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the African protest movement in America from the end of slavery, from the beginning of slavery, up through the civil rights movement, Alana McLaughlin. And of course, Alana McLaughlin will give us some information in reference to her background and her education in terms of this particular topic and some of the things that are very, very important. Alana, as we indicated, the topic today is the Black protest movement or the African protest movement in America. And we want to go from the end of slavery, really from the beginning of slavery, up through the civil rights movement. So let's start off by having you to give our audience some information about your background, your education, and perhaps some of the things that were important in terms of bringing you to us this morning, and then we'll get into the topic itself.
Well, Dr. Haney, as you've already stated, my name is Alana McLaughlin. I was born August 27th, 2002. My birthday is coming up soon. And I currently go to John Early Magnet Museum Middle School because this is my first year in 5th grade. Some of my former schools were Napier Elementary, Alex Green Elementary, Glenn Elementary, and Robert Churchwell Magnet Museum Elementary.
And so you've had an opportunity to attend several of the schools within the metropolitan system, and you're now in the 5th grade at John Early Middle School. Is that right?
Yes.
And this is your first year in terms of being in the middle school. Why don't you tell us something in terms of your understanding of the middle school experience and how you think it compares to what you've done so far in terms of your educational preparation?
Well, middle school is the year right before you go to high school, so it's no more elementary, and you go back like when you were in elementary school and pre-K, you'd be the baby of the school. When you go to middle school and you're in 5th grade, you're kind of just going back to being the baby of the school again. So basically, it's just me going to a higher standard, being older, being influences for the younger. So that's basically the middle school experience.
And so you're in the 5th grade now, and you think that you're prepared to talk about the African experience during the Civil War period, as well as some of the other civil rights kinds of things that were part of what we call the protest movement. Let's first start off by talking about the protest movement against slavery and the institution of slavery that lasted, as you know, for some 300 years. And there was quite a bit of opposition to that institution by what we call the abolitionists. And I think you've got some special information in reference to the abolitionists today, beginning with the great President Abraham Lincoln. Let's talk about President Abraham Lincoln as an abolitionist.
Well, Lincoln was born in a log cabin with bear skins for warmth, and his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, was born in a mansion with Persian rugs and 7 slaves to wait on her. So Lincoln grew up with his family telling him that slavery was wrong. That's why he didn't have slaves. And Mary's family grew up with them telling her that slavery was right, that they shouldn't abolish it. So when Mary Todd first met Abraham Lincoln, she was 18, and they were just complete opposites. Let's say that. Like, she was all for. She had a big temper. She would always yell, and she was very impatient, and she didn't know how to do anything for herself because it was always done for her. Abraham did everything for himself. He didn't have a temper, and he did not like to yell, and I don't recall him ever doing that. So Mary started trying to talk Abraham out of signing the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed all slaves, because she was saying that, well, slavery, we'll just keep it for a few more years and that'll change your mind. But when he first signed it, he said that if his hand shook, they would say, oh, he had some doubts about it, but he signed it with no doubt. So after that, Mary Todd kind of converted over to being an abolitionist with her husband, the president, at the first time. And she was also the first lady to be called the first lady. Well, the first presidential wife to be called the first lady, as in the president, a president lady.
Very good. And of course, Alana, that's, we'll take our first commercial break, and then we'll get back to talk about some of the results of the Emancipation Proclamation. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.